This is TNTMoneyMonday.com. It's new and exciting, and we're discussing the hot stocks and stock options that are trading on the New York Stock Exchange each week. TNT's Money Monday.
Think and Trade LLC makes no investment recommendations and does not provide financial, tax, or legal advice. Content and tools are provided for educational and informational purposes only. Any stock options or future symbols displayed are for illustrative purposes only and are not intended to portray a recommendation to buy or sell a particular security. Products and services intended for U.S. customers and may not be available or offered in other jurisdictions. Online trading has inherent risk, system response, and access times that may vary due to market conditions, system performance, volume, and other factors. Options and futures involve risk and are not suitable for all investors. Please read characteristics and risks of standardized options and risk disclosure statements for futures and options prior to trading. An investor should understand these and additional risks before trading.
I'm going to jump right in. And first thing I want to know, can you hear me loud and clear? I see you there, Cal. You're going to be my point man tonight, Cal. Where you at?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
My man. Good. Hey, listen, anybody else? Come on. From stock options, penny stock, did anybody else besides me make some money tonight? The Galaxy Lab is up. I seen you already shaking. Tell me about it, man. How did you do today in the stock market? Talk to me. Who made some money? Uh-oh, screen went out. Nobody. Are you guys serious?
No, I got a couple a day. That's about it.
Okay, what'd you trade today?
I got in at Coca-Cola,
Awesome.
and then I did a financial stock. That was about it.
Awesome. Anyone else? That's good. That's good, Kyle. Anyone else made money today? Stock market was up some 600 points after being down almost 3 days in a row, 4 days in a row. No one made money. Well, if you follow one of the principles that I talked about when it comes to trading, and that's what Warren Buffett once said. He said, when everybody else is selling, I'm buying. When everybody else is buying, I am selling. So you'll find out one of the things that I did when the stock market was down the other day, I started looking for different stocks to trade. And I started picking those things up. I'm telling you, I got a nice batch of penny stocks, stock, and stock options. I got it all laid out, and it was absolutely fantastic today. Got some stuff lined up for tomorrow. What I want to start out with, I want to teach something that I taught in one of our penny stock classes that can be used not only in penny stocks, but it can also be used in stock and options trading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump straight over to my Thinkorswim platform. And let me see here. I'm going to pull it up for you all. I'm going to share my screen there. Cal, you're with me. You see my screen there? My point man, Cal.
Yeah, I got you. You on?
Okay, good deal. Over here, if you, those of you that are using the Thinkorswim platform, there's a nice little technique that I use. I've actually been using it for a while on how to get what I call a stock that has a 10% move. And what I like about using this particular technique is you can do it before or rather in pre-market, when the market is open. You can do it after market, but I'm telling you, it really works well in pre-market. And I taught this a week or two ago in one of our penny stock classes. So I'm gonna let you in on one of our secret. I call this the 10% squeeze. Now in this, the way you set this up is you're gonna have to come and basically create a blank screen with your Thinkorswim platform. Make sure you write down all the indicators that you currently have that you like when it comes to scanning. And this is a scan that I want to show you and how I use it. Here, the first thing you do, you come over here and you add filters over here in the right hand to my right, probably to your right also. And we're going to add another stock filter. The first filter, in this filter, we want to put last. The next filter in the drop-down menu, if you would click on it, And if you would put up their volume, find volume. Now, some of these I have to find because they're either way down or they're hidden behind another drop-down menu. And I'll show you that in a minute if one pops up. The next one, let's add another filter. And this time, let me see if I can add a study. And this particular study, I want to add a price change. Price change. We're going to look down here. And let's see if we can find it. I might have to go back to. And this is what I mean by these arrows. There's additional tools behind it. And I will find it. There we go. Price change. And then the last study, I want to add one more, which is my final study, which is my unusual volume. And in the morning time, you're going to find out that in the stock market, you're gonna have what's called unusual volume, and that's where particular stocks are already starting to spike up. You know, at about 7 a.m. is when the pre-market starts to kick off, and so in that time frame, there are stocks that are already moving. Now, if you've noticed or if you haven't, many of these stocks can go up 10, 15, 20%. I've seen some here recently was at 67, even over 100%. And that's why I think this is valuable if you've been trading for a while, because you can actually trade in pre-market if you know how to get in there. And it's real simple to get into pre-market and to be able to trade stocks. Now, you can do it with options. Believe me, I've already tried it. And if you know that trick, somebody please call me, tell me what I need to do. But I have not seen where you can trade options that way, but you can trade stocks. And you can even jump in on some of these penny stocks if you're trading penny stocks and take advantage of it. Myself, I like to break my stocks down into small categories. If I want to trade stocks in the $1 to $5 range, that's exactly what I'm going to put in there. If I want to trade something higher, I can do that. Also, I can change this from $5 to $25 or whatever number you're comfortable trading with. I like a minimum. I actually like a minimum of 500,000 in shares being traded in a particular stock. The reason why I like 500,000 is because you run, especially if you're trading penny stocks, you run less of a chance into getting into what I call pump and dump. And that's where people are in there taking advantage of people. Here, I have no max. I want this. You know, I don't care how many shares are being traded in there. I'm going to let that run. And I want to know actually how has it closed in just the last period. You can do 1 or 2 periods recently. And I like to see if there's at least 10 bars or more that have run. You can do this from 2 sides too. I must explain. You can do from an increase side where the stock is increasing. You can also do it if you click on that drop-down menu. You can do it from a decreasing side to find out what stocks have failed 10%. This might help you to avoid mistakes in the morning, especially if you're thinking about jumping in something and you go to run your scan and you find out that this thing is already dropped some 10 or 20%. You may not want to get into that, especially if you're looking for that particular stock to go up. So from there, the only thing you got to do is come over here and hit the scan button. It's hiding right here. I'm going to hit scan and it's going to go out and pull up stock information for me. Now I'm going to slide this over because my screen is just a little bit too large for this. And now you see the stocks. The first thing I look at, and I share with people all the time, is the volume. How many shares are in there? I don't like shares that don't have stocks that don't have a lot of shares moving in it, because it doesn't give me the type of advantage I want to take from something. You can see in this incident right here, these are some of the stock movers that were in today, and this is the end of the day scan. but you can do this at the beginning of the day to be able to take advantage of the stock market before it opens. So in here, you'll see some of these stocks. Like I say, I start with volume. All you got to do is click here, and it'll move the volume for you from the lowest to the highest, and it'll give you which stocks were producing the most or has the most shares moving in it. And then you can see from here, this, had some 34-cent change, 31-cent change. I move these around too, because I also like to know which one had the most change in them. And you can do that same method by just clicking on there, and it'll tell you what some of the top movers were, percentage wise and on down, which gives you just that little bit of advantage. The last trick that I like doing with this particular scan right here is I like to go in and I want to know what was the last price and what was the highest price. That gives me an idea of what kind of move, if I want to jump in this stock on in the morning or the next day, it gives me an idea of how much money is left. I believe that higher highs make higher highs. In other words, when a stock hits a certain high like this right here, hit 380, most of the time you'll find that stocks like this that have dropped back to 353, they're trying to get back to that 380 on tomorrow. And so I got to do my final due diligence and research before I jump in it. But those are just, that is just one of the mighty techniques that I use to grab stocks off of the stock market as they're happening. It helps me to take advantage of many of the stocks you see. And I call that the 10% stock squeeze, because I'm only looking at a small range of about 10% of the stocks that are already moving in the stock market in the morning time. Now, I'm going to give you this one little tip. When you're trading pre-market, a lot of people don't know that if you're trading pre-market, if you would come over here, you're going to find that when you go to trade, there's only one way to get in that pre-market. You have to come down here to this EXT. It will allow you to trade pre-market or after-hour market. You got to click on that to open yourself up to the ability to trade. Now, let me say this about pre-market and after-hour market. Many times, if you get in there and you get a nice profit running, there are usually no one or not enough people many times to trade you out. So you may have to wait till the next day or till the market opens to trade. And I'm going to give you a good example here. I watched a number of people who they were in what is GameStop, GME, and I want to show you what it's like. Just think of being in this stock. Let me go back about a day. Let me grab a couple days here. All right, right here. This here, you can see this stock at the end of the day a couple days ago. It jumped from, I think this was around Thursday. It jumped from about $40 per share here, right near the end of the day. As it started to travel up, this stock ran up to $200 a share. And some people kind of got stuck in there. Not that they lost any money, because it dropped back down and it had a nice opening on the next day. They probably lost some money, but if there's not enough people for you to trade out of that stock that wants to buy that stock that you have, then you're going to have to wait till the market open. This was after hours market, so the next day people had an opportunity to trade out if that was what they're doing. Anybody out there trading GameStop, by the way? I'm just curious. I'm going to stop sharing there and open up my screen. Let's see what's going on. Anybody out there trading GameStop? Anybody trading the options on the GameStop? Talk to me. I know it's pretty expensive for those who are trading it. If you're just trading a single share, maybe not so bad, 100 some bucks. But if you're trading that option, man, just depends on where you get in it. It's pretty expensive. No? Everybody's quiet tonight. Okay. I'm going to jump over and I'm going to share a couple of trades that I see that are on the horizon. Let me jump over and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to then open up the microphones, and hopefully we'll see what's on your mind and what kind of trades you have in mind for tomorrow. I want to show you what I call another method to get some little bit better trades out, man. I learned this years ago. This was kind of, I actually did this by accident. What made this trading a little bit funny to me. When I first started off, I was trading a stock, and I just started clicking around. Actually, I blew about $3,000 when I first started trading, just experimenting with things and probably doing some things that I shouldn't have been. And so I'm going to show you a little tip or trick. Let's say, for instance, I call this cost averaging tip. Let's say, for instance, that you're trading a penny stock. Can you see my screen okay there, Calvin? Kyle, I'm sorry, Cal. I called you Calvin.
Yeah, you on. I got you.
Okay, good deal. Okay, let's say I'm trading stock ABC, and it's costing me $1 to get in. I bought 100 shares, so it cost me a total of $100. And matter of fact, I use this last week. This very tip I'm telling you, and that's how real this thing is to me and how marvelous it works. So I've spent $100. So let's say the stock drops and it goes down 10 cents and it goes to 90 cents a share. I will go back in and I will buy, if I believe in this stock, I really believe in this stock, that it's going to move, right? I will buy 100 shares at 90 cents. So now I just spent $190. And the reason why I call this cost averaging is in the system will actually take the two stocks you bought, as long as they're the same one. If you bought $100 worth at $1 a share, you bought $90 worth from 90 cents a share, they'll take those two and they'll divide them together for you, which will actually give you a cost of 95 cents per share. So now you own, of course, you've got more shares, you spent more money. I have 200 shares, but those 200 shares are now worth 95 cents. And the advantage of that is, if I'm trying to get back to the $1 mark where I started, for the most part, I'm able to pick up some cash between 95 and 100. Yes, I had to spend money to get there, but it is a much shorter distance when I'm on my way back on that trip, that 95 cents to reach 100 or that $1 mark again. So I've just turned that slight change. Yes, I spent more money. I'll say it again, but I spent that slight change of buying those extra shares at a lower price and adding those two together. I'm able to cost average those shares. And now when that stock goes back to $1 a share, my 200 shares, I just picked up $10. Now I use this on a number of occasions. I'm telling you, it is most powerful if you are trading any options and you have been doing it for a while. I don't say that anybody who hasn't been trading for a while to do this, but the way I really learned after I lost a number of dollars is I went into my simulated trade and I started practicing these things until I really developed a skill and a method to do it. I don't only do it with stocks. I do it with regular stocks. I do it with penny stocks, and I do it with options. When it's been years ago, but when Alibaba came in and Yahoo was 20% owner, I took that thing at every different levels. If I use this number, please don't hold me to it, but I want to use this number as an example. Let's say I bought a $20 option and it started to go up, then I'd buy a $25 option. It continued to go up. I'd buy a $30 option. And then as I started to see it stop to drop, I would cash out my options that would have the least amount of money in it and just begin to, literally reading the cash register one spot after the next. Just try it and see. When you get a really hot stock that's jumping anywhere, I've had today, like I think Riot it jumped up. I think it was $8 a share. Some of those ones that are really skyrocketing, when you find they hit $1, they hit $2, you know, you can test this in the marketplace and take advantage of that next level up, especially when it comes to options, or if you're in a position where you level down and you want to bring that up a little bit and have less dollars to get back to that original spot, it works out real well. Let me give you a few hot stocks that I see on the screen for tomorrow. And if I get my thing to cooperate with me. Okay, there we go. PXI. PXI is the first one. This is an ETF. So you will not find the background information on it like you would if you were looking at a particular stock exchange traded fund. PXI. Invest code DW Energy. The energy market is booming right now. If you want to do some study on that, that's one that you can take tonight, do some quick background and research on it. I want to give you a double play off of this. This one here, if you're looking at the stock, MRVL, I hope I pronounced this right, Marvell Technology. If in my research, let me say it this way, in my research, I found that this particular stock was due to go to about $60 per share. And I researched this through a number of different articles, a number of different information. And it has, in the past couple of days, went from about $46 a share. Right now, today, I think was up to like 49, 49.50, somewhere right there. I've taken benefit from this particular stock right here. Not only that, if you are trading options, y'all know when I jump on, we do stock options and penny stock. If you're trading options, this will report its earnings on Wednesday. How do you make the most? You don't want to take much risk, but you want to jump in there. If you would look in, let me go ahead and show you. I'm going to stop. I said I wasn't going to do this. Like I said, I wasn't going to tell nobody. I was going to keep it to myself, but I'm going to share. Okay. I'm sharing. Don't quit on me. No, don't leave. Don't leave. Share. Ooh, almost cut everybody off. All right. I'm going to use MRVL is the symbol, and I'm going to show you how I'm maximize my money and my profits using this. This is something I'll do if I have confidence in a particular stock and I've done my research on a particular stock. I will come in and I will see how many days left. Of course, tomorrow there's only going to be 3 days left on this particular option. This may not be a healthy play in this instance, because you can see right here, this particular option with just three days left is $2,500 out of, that's what's wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. It didn't, my machine didn't take MRVL. Somebody should have told me that. Good God Almighty, I was like 2,500 for one day. All right, here. I will come in on a stock that I trust. I'll make sure I got the right name up. And I will buy a short 3 or 4 day option like this here. And I would take advantage of that. I'll take a small portion. I'm saying what I do, not what I'm telling anyone to do. You're welcome to try this in your simulated trading. I'll grab that particular option. I'll get me 2, 3, 4, 5 contracts or whatever my number is. And I'll trade that low contract right there is just under $200 per contract right there. I pick up a couple contracts and I'll go in and I'll make $150 off of its earnings because they should have some pretty good earnings. The technology field, I'll say it again, is booming. It took a major hit the past few days when the bond market and the yield market was actually increased and everybody was pulling money out of the market. Then they said, oh, we're going to stimulate the market. So they passed the stimulus bill, the first round at least. And then today everybody's all happy. So everybody jumped back in the market. But I love it because when everybody was pulling out, I was on the hunt. I'm telling you, it's the best way to buy. When everybody else is selling, that's when you should be looking to buy. And you pick, I'm telling you, between that and GameStop picking it up at 86 a buck, and then it went up as high as 128 today. You talking about making money, man. I'm telling you, this thing is fantastic. I love taking advantage of the market when it drops. Back to this. This is where I take a quick option on this. I'll pick up a couple of contracts, and then I'll jump out, take advantage of the profits, and I'll be gone. Let me stop sharing, and let me jump back over to my screen here. All right, I just did the one for penny stocks. I'm sorry, for options. I think I got one left here. Let me make sure. Yeah, there we go. Cal, you still with me?
Yeah, still here.
Looking good. Screen up. Cost. KOS. I'm sharing okay?
Yes.
Okay, good deal. In penny stocks, here's a couple of stocks I think that be good for you to take a look at. Its symbol is KOS. You can see this is another energy stock. It operates in oil and gas exploration, exploitation, and production company focused on explored regions in Africa. This stock right here has a little bit of movement on today. If you would look inside of your stock charts, you'll see this particular stock has been on the move. And then my last one that I have for the day is MITC. Take a look at this. Micronet. This particular stock right here is a leading independent producer of high quality special hydrocarbon products, carbon products right here out in North America. This too is one of those oil and gas companies. As I say, the energy sector of late has been booming, and this will give you a good foundation for tomorrow. I put some research into both of these particular ones, and you can test them out in your virtual trading unless you complete your research tonight and you decide to trade them. I say with everything you do, you should do your due diligence to make sure that it's something that you want to get into for yourself. You should never just jump in a stock because someone mentioned it. You should do your own research. I know that we gave out about 10 stocks to our penny stock group on Sunday, and some people have made some very good profits from those particular entities. Hey, with that being said, I'm going to open up the microphones and see what kind of questions you have. We have a whole new series of information that's going to be coming out over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be sharing some reports and some other information on research that I've been doing. All you got to do is stay tuned. I'll make the reports when you get here. The only thing you'll have to do is click on it, and you can download it right from our chat box. I got some new stuff coming out, and I hope you get a chance to take advantage of it. Hey, Mr. Jackson, how you doing? It's good to see you online here. Mr. Jackson, a long-time trader. Awesome, awesome. Hey, the microphones are now open. Come on now. I know somebody got some questions or made some money, or they have some stocks that they want to share with us that they are actually trading and they believe will be a good trade for someone else. Feel free to share. The mics
Hey, Victor, this is Keisha Woods. I got a question. When you say research the companies, how do you research your companies and what are you looking for? Can you help me out as a beginner or a novice?
Sure. Yeah, sure. One of the things that I do, and I'm going to share my screen. Give me just a second here. I start with the symbol. I mean, I'm going to walk through this just a little bit. If you would, everyone would be just a little bit patient with me. I'm having to finagle this thing. Normally, I have some help here, but tonight I am on my own. Somebody say on my own. There. Okay. I'm going to share my screen right here. Let me give you a couple of places. First one I like to look at is Yahoo Finance. Yahoo Finance will give you what I call the money background on a particular stock. So let's say, for instance, I'm looking at, I think that symbol was KOS. Please, I have so many symbols in my head. Oftentimes I have to make sure that I'm giving you the right thing. KOS. I want to look at the statistics. One of the things that I'm looking for is how many stocks are outstanding. Right here, I see there's 407 million. What is the float? It's about 399 million. And I know some people say, man, you're throwing a lot at us. No, it's just like going to school. You learn each thing piece by piece and step by step. I want to know, are there a lot of shares out there? I want to know how many is being held by institutions and investors. As you can see here, there's 86% of this is held by institutions, which is good, which tells me that you're not going to find as much trouble in a stock like what I would call a pump and dump stock. And I also like to look at this short float. This has become a big issue here lately because some companies like to short more stocks, and that just means that they borrow them from a hedge fund to put them out there to sell at a higher price, hoping that the stock will drop and then they could buy it back. That's all about. I did something called a report on short squeeze a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully you got a copy of it. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I'm also, depending on if it's like a penny stock company, I don't expect penny stock companies to have the greatest income statement, but I am looking at their income. The reason why is because they're just starting off and they're still developing themselves. And so they won't always have the best income statement or balance sheet. If I'm looking at a majority company, like Home Depot or Wells Fargo, any of them, I'm looking for solid information. And then what is what's called their earnings or either their dividends. Is it a company that has dividends? I'm looking at that information to see if they're issuing out some basic dividends. Another place I like to go before I jump in a stock, I like to look at what I call earning whispers. In earning whispers, and this becomes so important because if a stock is getting ready to report its earnings, let me use MRVL. And this is getting ready to come out. I do it with almost every company I pick. I want to know their earnings report date because if I buy that stock, it could affect the stock one way or another, whether the stock is going to push higher or push lower. If I'm buying it on an option to go up, then I want to be careful that I don't jump in right at earnings time too soon, or if I don't know enough information about it. If I'm buying it to hold, it may not be as big of a problem. And then down here at the bottom of earning whispers, I want to see what or who their competitors are. Once I find out who their competitors are, it helps me to be able to digest, is this company solid and what their competition is like. For this company right here, there's only a few players in this particular space. And so they have a real strong position in the marketplace, for example. Those are some of the areas where I start my research and start my information background. And if you also, I use one other spot and it's called marketwatch.com. And I will do the same thing in MarketWatch. I want to know what's the latest news on a particular stock. As I type it in, I'm going to use KOS again as an example. I want to know, is there any late news like here today? You can see right here, KOS energy stock rises on Monday, outperforms the market. It's those type of things that gives me confidence when I'm jumping into a particular stock. Okay, when people start reading this, here today, because this just came out at 5:21 p.m. You see that right here. Now you're going to start seeing other people have more confidence about jumping in this particular stock and that stock taking off for you and giving you the kind of returns you want. Myself, I like 10, 20, 30% or 30 cents on the trade. I like trading in blocks of 1,000 because I like making $200-300 at a time. I see some more chats. I see. Okay. Hey Vic, it's been a while, my brother. Okay, John Williams took your. Oh, I'm sorry. That's another personal message. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry about that. Did I answer your question there, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you did. Thank you.
Okay. I know I pushed out a lot, but these videos are available. You can go right to the spot and you won't have to listen to the whole thing. You can capture what you need out of there and grab those sites and you know, start your research right there. Anyone else?
Yeah. Vic, can you hear me?
I hear you barely, but talk to me. Talk to me.
Herman Jackson. I'm new at all this talk.
Come on.
But I can
You
talk.
doing this?
I get you face to face, and you know I can wear you out. But anyway, God is good, and God is blessing and been treating me good.
Yes,
And
sir.
anyway, what I was I've been mostly into like earnings, what we are in now.
Yes, sir.
And do you elaborate too much on it? Now, I kind of picked them up at some cheap spots, some courses,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on udemy.com,
Mm-hmm.
udemy.com, and they
Mm-hmm.
go over a lot of. But when I get into the trading itself, I kind of get confused on because see, there's so much info like all those different start chart thing, and you go
Mm-hmm.
through and all that other stuff, and that's my research, and man, my head be swimming. Help me
Uh,
out. What's a good?
well, one thing you're going to find that's really what I've found has been pretty simple about earnings, and I ask you to bear me out, to take a little bit of research and do this here. The last 2 weeks of a particular stock that's getting ready to report its earnings, if it's a relatively decent stock, you're going to start to find that stock climb its way up. Now, there are like this past week where you had some interference, I guess you could call it, in the marketplace where the market dropped for about 3 days, and that was due to the yield going up and the Federal Reserve's. Ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Everybody hear me good on this. If you're buying at the time the Federal Reserve's or Reserve chairperson is speaking, you must be very careful. Their words hold a lot of weight in the marketplace. So that's another little something that you'll want to look up is they speak about every 3 months, and you want to keep that in mind if you're really serious about trading, because when they speak, it can push the market up or it can push it down. And most of the time, it's going to push it down because people are so afraid of what they might say. And so you just want to be careful with that. Okay. What I want to say, Herman, is if you look at many charts of where, and I'm going to jump over back to earnings whispers here just for a moment. If you look at many charts, you'll find out that right about 2 weeks before a particular company is getting ready to report its earnings, that these companies that are doing well will start to creep up. Another thing, you can come over here to Earning Whispers, and I think I just seen Target. Yeah, Target's reporting on to market, TGT. And I want to take a quick look. Down here at the bottom, you really want to pay attention to what they're saying about the expectations and information that they're putting out about Target. Now, normally before now, you would have some information in each one of these blocks. As the closer this has gotten to earnings, they've taken some information down. But if you check this, the trends, I mean, all of this will play an indication on which way that particular stock is going to move. And I tell you what, this site right here has been pretty close to the expectations of what they wanting to see a company report. And because of the pandemic, many companies that are online order companies have done extremely well. So That's another thing that you can keep in mind when you're trading earnings. Look 2 weeks out, look for a move there, and then try to notice, is it a company that's doing major service online? Because the online business right now is booming. I seen another question over in the chat box or somewhere. They're coming in left and right tonight. That's all right. Okay, someone just said add me to their email distribution list. You got it. I sure will. Anyone else?
Hi, Victor.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, nothing much. I actually bought Sundial, a few
Yes.
shares of that, and AMC. I sort of bought AMC thinking, based on Jonathan telling me it may kind of rally like the GameStop. I missed out on that. So what do you think about AMC and Sundial?
I think Sundial is doing very well as one of the CBD oil companies. I think both of them are in a, I think especially AMC is in a squeeze position. I don't know if the squeeze, a short squeeze position, whether it would come from the short squeeze or whether it's going to come from a gamma squeeze. It's the same way with GameStop. I think GameStop is more closer to what they call a gamma squeeze because so many contracts are being sold and they need to cover or hedge their bet. AMC, if you bought it, just depends. I think AMC will rise again. I don't know quite where you're at. I'm going to pull something up on my screen. I'm trying to see which one would be the best. Where you at there, Cal?
I'm right there.
You see my screen, partner?
No, not yet. It's not there.
Start charts. You see it now?
No. Yeah.
You got Thinkorswim was up.
Thinkorswim, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man, I guess. See what happens. Yeah, I think AMC will rise again. I can see right here. I'm not quite sure where you're in at, but I think the trades that are in Thinkorswim, if you're looking at some of the open interest and the number of shares that are outstanding, you're going to see that most of the money is forced over here on the call side. And I do think that there's some major opportunity for AMC to bounce once again. SD, help me out on
SNDL.
Okay, thank you.
SNDL.
Hey, Victor Napier here. If you'd like to dig into more on stock, options, and penny stock trading, just join us this Monday night for TNT Money Monday. Look for the link in our Facebook page. Thank you.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff of Space Shuttle Atlantis. Final visit.